Guys, in the last session, we discussed about few topics related to what is programming language, and what is technology, and we also discussed about what is framework, right? Can anyone tell me what is programming language and what is technology and what is framework? What is programming language, guys? What is the meaning of programming language? Programming language contains some fundamentals of a program, and in that some basic fundamentals will be available. By using them, we can develop only standalone applications. So if you want to develop a web application, we need some programming technology. Okay, we need programming technology. So here are the programming languages. Example, Java is a programming language. And coming to technology, we can say JDBC is one technology. We can say servlets is one technology, and we can say JSP is one technology. By using these technologies, we can develop web applications. But what is the problem with a technology, guys? When you go for technology, what is the problem we have? What is the problem we have with a technology? We need to develop lot of code. We need to develop side. Mouse is what a side. Side, mouse is mouse. So programming language contains some fundamental concepts. By using the programming language, we can develop some standalone applications. Standalone application, nothing but we can use that application only in one system. Right. If you want to develop a web application, then we are going to use software technology. So we have JDBC, we have servlets, we have JDBC, we have servlets, and we have JSP. By using these technologies, we can develop web applications also. When the technologies are already available, then why we got the framework, guys? When the technology is already available, why we got a concept called framework? What is the meaning of a framework? Come on. What is the meaning of framework? Framework is a semi-developed software. Framework is a semi-developed software. So it provides common logics for us. Provides common logics to develop our application. Okay. So same framework is nothing but a semi-developed software. It provides common logics to develop our application. You can focus only on the business logic. You focus only on business logic. So instead of you are writing 100 lines of code, you write only 20 lines of code. The remaining 80 lines of code will be provided by framework here. So there are several frameworks available in the market. So we have seen JSF is one framework available for Java people. Similarly, Struct framework is available for Java people. And the next one, Hibernate framework is available. And the next one, Spring framework is also available. These are the several frameworks which are available for Java people. So here, JSF framework, as discussed, it is outdated in the market. And the Struct framework is called as Web framework. So what you can do by using Struct framework, we can develop only web layer in the application. Web layer nothing but only controllers you can develop by using this Struct framework. Then what about Hibernate framework? Hibernate is called as ORM framework. Hibernate is nothing but ORM framework. It is able to communicate with only database.
Hello,
if
sir.
you want to communicate with the database, then
Hello.
you can put a framework to
Sir, your voice is getting very low.
Yes. Hello.
Available in the market. Spring framework is called
Hello,
as
sir.
application
Sir.
development framework.
Sir, your voice is very low.
Application development
It
framework.
is barely
Called
audible.
as application development framework. Why Hibernate is
Drop a
ORM,
message, guys.
Flux is web framework. Why Spring is called as application development framework. Why Spring is called as application development framework, guys? Can anyone tell me why Spring is called as? I think they are facing voice issue.
Yes, sir.
Your voice.
Guys, is my voice clear now?
No, sir.
Is my voice clear now?
No, sir.
No.
We are talking about frameworks concept which is available in the market.
Yeah,
So
now it's clear.
JSF is available, Struts available, Hibernate is available, and Spring available. Is it audible now?
Yes, now it's audible. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Better.
Good. Fine. So here we have several frameworks in the market. For you, is it clear? Yes. JSF is available, Struts framework is available, Hibernate framework is available, and Spring framework is also available. So JSF framework is already outdated in the market, and Struts is called as web framework. By using Struts framework, we can develop only web layer in the application. And coming to Hibernate. Hibernate is called as ORM framework. By using Hibernate, we can develop only database access logic. So if you want to develop one project, then you need to use Struts as well as Hibernate also. To overcome the problems of the Struts and Hibernate, Spring framework came into picture. That Spring framework is called as Application Development Framework. What is the meaning of Application Development Framework? What is the meaning of Application Development Framework? By using Spring framework, we can develop all the layers in the application. The entire application development can be completed by using one single framework that is called Spring framework. So let's understand what is Spring and what are the advantages available with the Spring. Spring framework, it is Java based framework. That means it is developed by using Java and J2EE technologies. It is Java based framework. That means the Spring framework is developed by using JSE and JEE only. So using the core concepts of the Java, using Java technologies like JDBC, Servlet, and JSP, they developed this Spring framework. That's why Spring is called as Java-based framework. And we can also say Spring is free of cost. If you want to use Spring framework to develop your application, you no need to pay the money because it is free of cost. And open source also. You can download the source code of the Spring framework. That's why it is called as open source. It is not only free, it is open source also. You can use it for free of cost and you can download the source code of the Spring framework also. And next one, Spring is Java-based framework. It is free of cost and open source. Using Spring framework, we can develop several types of applications. Using Spring framework, we can develop several types of applications. Whatever the applications you can develop by using Java, that is JSE. Standalone applications you can develop by using Spring framework. And by using Spring framework, you can develop web applications also. And by using Spring framework, you can develop distributed applications also. That means whatever the project that you want to develop by using Java, all those projects you can develop by using Spring. Standalone projects you can develop, web applications you can develop, and distributed applications also you can develop by using our Spring framework. Sir, all these things we can develop by using Java technologies also, right? Core Java is available, advanced Java is available. By using those technologies, we can develop these applications now. Then why we need to go for this Spring framework? What is the benefit? Framework, nothing but it is a semi-developed software. The frameworks will provide you some common logics to develop the application. So if you no need to write everything on your own, some predefined classes will be available. We need to use those predefined classes and we need to write our logic. Then we need to complete the project. So 30% you have to write, 70% they will provide you. Common logics they will provide. You focus only on the business logic development, then our project will be completed. And if you see, in the last class, we discussed that when you go for a project architecture, multiple layers will be available in the project. Multiple layers will be available. So in the project, we can see presentation layer will be available. Web layer, presentation layer, nothing but UI layer will be available. Controllers will be available, which is called as web layer. And some service layer will be available, where we are going to write the business logic. And some DAO layer will be available to communicate with the database. And finally, our database will be available here. So let me call it as a DB. My application want to communicate with the database. For that, we are going to develop some classes. The classes which are responsible to communicate with the database, Those classes are called as DAO classes. Okay. And the next one, to execute some business logic in our application, service classes will be available. DAO classes will be available and service classes will be available. What is the difference between DAO classes and service classes? What is the difference between DAO classes and service classes, guys? DAO classes are responsible to communicate with the database. Then what is the purpose of service classes? Service classes are responsible to execute the business logic. Yesterday I have shown you OTP sending. Okay, that is a business logic. To send the OTP, we need to make a web service call to the WhatsApp application. That business logic and OTP generation, email sending, Excel sheet generation. I have the data in the table. I want to export my table data into Excel format. I have the data in the table. I want to export the data into PDF format. I want to send an email to the customer. I want to send a WhatsApp message to the customer. I want to generate a OTP. I want to send OTP to the customer. I want to transfer the amount from my account to my friend account. All these things comes under business logics only. In every project, business logic will be available. In order to develop such a kind of business logics, we are going to develop some classes in the project. Those classes are called service classes. DAO class is nothing but data access object. The class which contains business logic is called as a service class. The class which contains the logic to communicate with the database, that class is called as a DAO class. And here, some controller classes will be available in our project. Controller classes will be available. Controller classes are nothing but web layer components. So what is the purpose of a controller in the project? Controller will take your request and will send a response to you. Controller is responsible to handle user requests. When you click on login button, you will enter email ID, you will enter password, you will click on the login button. Your request will go to controller. Controller will give the data to service. Service will give the data to DAO. DAO will communicate with the database, will check your credentials are valid or not. Okay, this is the execution flow. Then who will send the request to the controller? From the UI page, from the UI application, the request will be coming to the controller application. UI will send the request to the controller and the controller will send the response to the UI. Controller will communicate with the service. Service will communicate with the DAO. That DAO is going to communicate with the database. So this is our application architecture. This is our application architecture. If you develop your application like this, that is called as layered architecture, which is also called as MVC architecture, layered architecture, three-tier architecture, n-tier architecture. There are several names available. So in the real time, we are going to develop our project in this way. So that means multiple DAO classes will be available. In the real time, the best practice, for every database table, one DAO class will be created. For example, if you have 5 tables in the project, 5 DAO classes we have to create. If you have 1,000 tables, 1,000 DAO classes we have to create. DAO class is only responsible to communicate with the database. There is nothing else. Only database communication logic will be available in the DAO class. Then what about service class? Service class will contain only business logic. What is the meaning of business logic? OTPs, emails, Excel sheet generation, PDF generation, data validation, all these things comes under service only. In the project, multiple service classes will be available. It's not like only one service. User service, report service, WhatsApp service, email service, okay, date service, and OTP service. Like this, multiple service classes we can create in one project. And the next one, multiple controllers also will be available in the project. What is the responsibility of the controller in the project? What is the responsibility of a controller? Controller is responsible to take the request and give the response. Controller is called as web layer. Controller is called as web layer. In one project, multiple controller classes will be available. They are responsible to take the request and give the response. Login controller, registration controller, dashboard controller, report controller, forgot password controller, send message controller, send email controller. Like this, in our project, multiple controller classes also will be available. And the UI will be available. So nowadays, UI, we are developing as a separate project. So long back, when we go for monolithic application, everything will be available in the single project. Now, the projects are developing by using microservices architecture. When you go for microservices architecture, UI project will be developed as a separate project by using Angular or React. Angular or React will be used to develop our UI application. Backend application will be available. Front-end application will be available, which is called as our full stack application. Now, I'm not talking about UI today because UI anyhow, we are going to develop by using separate technology. Front-end development is separate, either Angular or React. Our main focus in this course, we are going to learn how to develop a back-end application by using controllers, services, DAOs, how to communicate with the database. Okay, so controllers called as web layer components, services are called as business layer components, DAOs are called as persistence layer components. Okay, we need to learn how to develop all these layers. Earlier, people used to develop DAOs by using Hibernate, controllers by using struts. 10 years back, 15 years back, that was the trending concept. Web layer we will develop by using struts framework. DAO layer we develop by using Hibernate framework. We need two different frameworks to develop one application. But today, when you go for the Spring framework, all the layers, whatever the controller layer is available, service layer available, DAO layer available, all the three layers you can develop by using one single framework that is called Spring framework. We can develop entire application by using Spring. That's why Spring is called as application development framework. When you go for the Spring, it is the providing time leaf integration is available in the Spring. By using time leaf, we can develop UI also in the Spring. Spring will support for UI development also. It supports for controllers development. It will support for services development. It will support for DAO development. That's why Spring is called as application development framework. But today, we are not using Spring to develop the UI. Why? Because people are not using time leaf to develop the UI. Angular, React concepts available in the market. So we no need to talk about the UI application when we are learning Spring framework or Spring Boot framework. Why? Because where we are going to use Spring Boot in the real time for the backend development. In the backend, we will develop controllers, services, DAO classes by using our Spring Boot. And the backend, only one application will be available or multiple applications will be available in the backend. Only one application in the backend or multiple applications in the backend. Multiple applications will be available in the backend. Those applications are called as microservices. What are the multiple applications we have in the backend? Those applications are called as microservices. Okay, good. So I hope you got the clarity. What is the difference between Hibernate and Spring? What is the difference between Hibernate and Spring, guys? What is the difference between Hibernate and Spring? Hibernate is only for ORM.
Hibernate is an
Communicate with the
ORM
database.
framework,
What
and
about the
Spring
Spring?
is an application
What
framework.
about the Spring?
Hibernate is an
By using Spring, we can develop all the layers of the application. What is the meaning of all the layers? By using Spring, we can develop controller layer, we can develop service layer, and we can develop DAO layer also by using Spring framework. Very good. And Spring is Java-based framework, and Spring is free of cost. Spring is open source framework. By using Spring framework, we can develop several applications. You can develop standalone project by using Spring. You can develop web project by using Spring. You can develop distributed project also by using Spring framework. And here, guys, Spring framework, Spring is not a single framework. Spring is not a single framework because Spring is providing so many functionalities. You can develop controllers, you can develop services, you can develop DAO, security will be available, microservices can be developed, REST APIs can be developed by using Spring. so many features, so many benefits are available when you go for Spring framework. So how we are getting these many benefits from the Spring? To understand the real power of the Spring framework, we need to talk about Spring architecture. If you understand Spring architecture, then only you will realize the power of the Spring framework and why that the Spring framework is having this much demand in the market. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Online students, is my voice clear? Online
Yes,
students,
sir.
is
Yes,
my
yes,
voice
it's
clear for
clear.
all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Could you please confirm in the chat box?
Yes, sir. It's clear, sir. It's
Yes,
perfect.
very good. Very good. So Spring is not a single framework. Spring framework developed in modular fashion. Spring framework is developed in modular fashion. That means Spring is having multiple modules, guys. In the Spring framework, multiple modules are available. All the modules are loosely coupled. All Spring modules are loosely coupled. Spring modules are loosely coupled. Loosely coupled, nothing but if there are 10 modules in the Spring, it's not mandatory to learn all the 10 modules. It's not mandatory to use all the 10 modules in the project. Which module is required for your project, you can take that module and you can use only that module for your project. Are you getting my point? So if there are 10 modules available in the Spring framework, it's not mandatory that you need to learn all the modules. It's not mandatory that you need to use all the modules. Okay, it depends on your requirement. Which module is required for your project, you take only that module. So that's why we are calling Spring framework is loosely coupled framework. Let's go to internet and let us see Spring architecture diagram. Let's go to internet. Let's look about Spring architecture diagram. So there are multiple diagrams available. Let me open Spring architecture diagram. Okay. So let me find out a good diagram here. Yeah. Can you guys see this diagram? Is it visible for you? No? Yes or no? This is the architecture diagram of our Spring framework. Let me copy this. Yeah. So this is our Spring architecture diagram. So if you see, there are multiple boxes available in the Spring architecture. There are multiple boxes available in the Spring architecture. What is the meaning of these boxes? These boxes are called modules. Whatever the boxes you can see in the diagram, right? Those boxes are called as modules in the Spring framework. And every module, is there any relation between one module to another module, or there is no relation? There is no relation between these modules. What is the meaning of that? They are loosely coupled. They are loosely coupled. So when I say, when you go for Spring framework, you can develop all the layers of the application. To develop every layer, there is a separate module is available. If you want to develop a web layer by using Spring framework, Spring Web MVC module is available. You can develop only web layer in the project by using MVC. DAO layer you can develop by using Hibernate also, no problem. That means Spring is a loosely coupled framework. Whatever is required for the project, only those concepts you can use from the Spring and you can develop your project. Spring will never force you to use all these modules. And you no need to learn all the modules also. I want to develop only DAO layer of my project by using Spring. For that, there is a module called Spring DAO module, Spring ORM module is available. I want to develop only web layer. I want to develop only controllers in the application by using Spring framework. For that, you can go for Web MVC module. Okay. For all these modules, the base module is available, which is called core. See how they have developed this diagram. They designed the diagram. Core module is the base, like our core Java. Okay. So if you learn the core Java concepts, then only you can learn advanced Java. Then only you can learn the framework. Similarly here, if you want to learn any module in the Spring framework, the fundamentals you need to understand from the core module. All the remaining modules of the Spring are developed based on this core module only. Spring Core is the fundamental module of the framework. So in that module, the framework fundamentals are available. Once you learn the Spring Core module, then you can learn any other module available in the Spring frame. Are you guys able to follow me? Yes. What is the Spring? Come on. What is the Spring? Spring is a Java-based application framework. Spring is a Java-based framework, and the Spring is free of cost, and the Spring is open source. Using Spring framework, what we can do, guys? Using Spring framework, we can develop several types of applications. What type of applications we can develop by using Spring framework? What type of applications we can develop by using Spring? By using Spring framework, we can develop standalone applications, we can develop web applications also, and we can develop distributed applications also by using this Spring. What is the meaning of standalone application? What is the meaning of standalone application? The application which runs in one machine, that is called standalone application. By using Spring, you can develop web application also. The application which can be accessed by multiple users at a time is called web application. What is the meaning of distributed application? What is the meaning of distributed application? If one project is communicating with the another project. If one project is yesterday, my project communicated with the WhatsApp project. So those are called distributed projects. If one project is communicating with the another project, then if one project is communicating with the another project, then those projects are called as distributed projects. How Spring is providing these many benefits for us? Because Spring is not a single framework. This Spring framework developed in the modular fashion, and the Spring modules are loosely coupled. So it is not mandatory to use all the modules of the Spring. Whatever the module is required for your project, you can take only that module and you can use that module in your project. So let's understand what are the modules available in the Spring framework. The first important module that we need to understand, Spring Core module. And the next one, Spring Context module is available. Spring Core module, Spring Context module is available. And the next one, Spring DAO module is available. And the next one, Spring ORM module is available. And Spring AOP module is available. Spring AOP module available. And the next one, Spring Web MVC module is available. Okay. Spring Core, Spring Context, Spring DAO, Spring ORM, Spring AOP, Spring Web MVC. So like this, there are several modules available. So in the initial version of the Spring, Spring Web is available and the Spring MVC module is available. So like this, there are 7 modules available in the first version of the Spring framework. If you see this diagram also, Web module is available, Web MVC is available, Core is available, Context available, DAO available, AOP available. So total, how many modules available in the Spring framework, guys? This is 1.x version of the Spring framework. That means in the year of 2003-2004, this framework came into market with this architecture. So in the Spring 1.x version, we are having 7 modules. Core module, Context module, DAO module, ORM module, AOP module, Web module, Web MVC module also. There are 7 modules available in the Spring framework. In which version these 7 modules available? 1.x version. Which year 1.x came into market? 2003 or 2004. Almost 20 years back. Almost 20 years back, this was the architecture of the Spring frame. But today, the latest version of the Spring, 6.x version. 6.x version is the latest version of the Spring, which industry is using to develop the project. So do you think that same architecture will be available? Do you think that same architecture will be available? No. So today in the Spring framework, 20 plus modules available. So they are keep on adding the functionalities to the existing framework. They have done one thing. In the Spring 1.x version, we are having 7 modules here. Okay, there are 7 modules available in the 1.x version. Then in the Spring 2.x version, 6 modules only available. Okay, in the second version of the Spring framework, only 6 modules available. Why 6 modules? Whatever web module, web MVC available, right? There are 2 modules, web module, web MVC. They combined 2 modules into one module, Spring Web MVC module. Earlier, web is separate, MVC is separate. They have combined 2 modules into single module. That's why in the Spring 2.x version, only 6 modules available. In the 1.x version, 7 modules available. In the 2.x version, 6 modules only available. Which module they removed? They removed any module? Did they remove any module? No. What they have done? They combined web and web MVC into web MVC module, which is single module. So that's why in the 2.x version, there are only 6 modules available. Again, in the 3.x version, they have introduced around 15 to 20 modules. Okay. From the 3.x version onwards, the complete framework architecture got changed. 3.x, 4.x, 5.x. Now the latest is 6.x version in the market. Spring 6 is using in the market. Okay, let's understand the 6.x version architecture. Let us see the diagram. Spring architecture diagram. So when you go for the Spring architecture diagram, this is the image. Okay, so in this image, you can understand what is the latest modules. What are the latest modules available and what is the latest architecture of our Spring framework. We have seen the old architecture of the Spring framework. 7 modules are available. Now let us see the latest architecture of the Spring framework. This is called as latest architecture of the Spring framework. 4 modules available. 4 modules again divided into 4 submodules. Beans module, core module, context module, expression. AOP again divided into aspects, instrumentation. Web module again divided into 4 modules. Okay. DAO again divided into 5 modules. And they introduced test module also. Like this, in the 1.x version, only 7 modules available. In the current version of the Spring, 20 plus modules available. Are you able to follow this? And every module, is there any dependency? Is there any dependency in the diagram? Is one module talking to another module? No. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Those modules are loosely coupled. So which module is required for your project? You take only that module you use in your project. Which module is required for your project? You take only that module and you use that module in your project. Spring will never force you to use all the modules here. But if you want to understand Spring Boot, then you need to learn this Spring core module. Spring core module is the base module of the Spring framework, guys. So whatever the core module we are talking, this Spring core module is the base module for the Spring framework. If you want to learn any module in the Spring, first we need to learn this Spring core module that will provide framework fundamentals. Okay. If you want to develop a web application in the Java, how core Java fundamentals are required. Similarly, if you want to use any module in the Spring, first we need to learn our core module. Core module will give you framework fundamental concepts. Are you able to follow me? Very good. Now, so here we have seen 7 modules. Can you read the module names, guys? Come on. Spring core module is available. Spring context is available. Spring DAO available. Spring ORM, Spring AOP, Spring Web, Spring MVC. So these modules are available. These modules introduced in which version? What about 2.x? Only 6. What about 3.x? 20. 20 modules introduced in the 3.x version. Now, so these are the fundamentals, very important modules available in the Spring. Along with this, guys, now currently we are using Spring Data module, which is having data JPA. Spring Data module is available to communicate with the database. JPA is introduced. Then to develop the REST APIs, they introduced a module called Spring REST module. Spring REST module is available. To secure our applications, they introduced a module called Spring Security. They introduced a module called Spring Security. Okay. And next one, to develop the microservices, they introduced a module called Spring Cloud module. To implement microservices in the Spring, they introduced a module called Spring Cloud module. To develop batch applications, they introduced a module called Spring Batch module. Spring Batch module. Okay, like this, there are so many modules available in the Spring framework, around 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework. Core module, context module, DAO module, ORM module, AOP module, Web MVC module. So here, Web and MVC, we are going to combine them. Okay, Spring Web MVC module is available. Spring Data module is available. Okay, Spring REST module is available. Spring Security is available. Spring Cloud available. Spring Batch available. Spring Messaging available. Reactive Programming is available. Spring Social is available. So like this, 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework. So nowadays, all these modules we are going to use along with the Spring Boot. So whatever the modules available, when you go for Spring Boot also, same modules will be available. But when you go for Spring Boot, less number of work, less number of lines of code we are going to write. If you go for Spring, 10 lines of code. If you go for Advanced Java, 100 lines of code. If you go for Spring, 30 lines of code. If you go for Spring Boot, 5 to 10 lines. That means, what is the meaning of this? Step by step, they are decreasing the developer's effort. So if I develop a project by using servlet and JSP, suppose 1000 lines of code I am writing. Same project I can develop in the Spring framework by writing 300 lines. What about the remaining 700 lines? Spring will provide. That is a common logic. Common logic will be provided by the Spring. So with the Spring, I am developing the same project with the 300 lines of code. Same project I can develop using Spring Boot also in 100 lines of code. So more burden is reduced for the developer by using this Spring and Spring Boot concept. What is the Spring Boot here? What is Spring Boot? That is the extension for the Spring only. So whatever the modules available in the Spring, what are the concepts available in the Spring, same concepts we are going to use in the Spring Boot also. Same concepts we are going to use in the Spring Boot. Okay, next one. So are you clear? What are the modules available now? So can you tell me what are the modules available? Core module, AOP module, Spring Core, Spring Context, Spring DAO, Spring ORM, Spring AOP, Spring Web MVC, Spring Data, Spring REST, Spring Cloud, Spring Security, Spring Batch. So like this, there are so many modules available in our Spring framework. Now, let's understand what is the purpose of all these modules which are available in the Spring framework. So once you understand all these modules, then we can start working with the Spring framework. So if I want to develop a web application, which modules I have to use? Okay. If I want to develop DAO layer, if I want to communicate with the database in my project, which module I have to use? So if I want to develop a REST API, which module? If I want to implement security, which module? Okay. And what is there in the core module? What are the most important topics available in the Spring framework? Okay. Now, so let's talk about the modules which are available in the Spring framework. Spring is not a single framework, guys. I told you one point. Spring is not a single framework. Why I am saying that it is not a single framework? Why Spring is not a single framework? Every module is a framework. So Spring is developed in the modular fashion. Every module we can call as a framework. That's why Spring is collection of frameworks. What we can say? Collection of modules. And every module is one framework. That's why we are saying that Spring is not a single framework. Spring framework developed in modular fashion. And all the Spring modules are loosely coupled. What is the meaning of modules are loosely coupled? What is the meaning of modules are loosely coupled? Okay. Spring will not force to use all the modules in our project development. Spring framework will not force us to use all the modules to develop our application. Spring framework will not force us to use all the modules to develop our application. Which module is required for our project, that module you can take and you can use. There is no rule that you have to use all the modules. For my project, database access is not there. In my project, I am not using any database. My project is a file-based project. Then DAO module you don't need to use. My project is a standalone project. Controllers, web layer not available. WebMVC module not required. For my project, batch processing is not available. So I no need to use the batch module. My project is for my training purpose. I don't need to implement security in the project. Security module not required. Okay. So all the modules are loosely coupled. That Spring framework will not force you to use all the modules in the project development. Which you can choose. We can pick up any Spring module that is required for our project and we can use it. We can pick up any Spring module that is required for our project and we can use that module. Are you able to follow this? That's why we are saying that Spring is developed in the modular fashion and all the modules are loosely coupled. Spring framework will never force you to use all the modules. Which module is required for your project, you take that module and you use that module in your project. Are you clear? Next one. So let us talk about what are the modules and what is the purpose of each module. Okay. So if we talk about a module called Spring Core, if we talk about a module called Spring Core module is available. Spring Core module is available. So it is base module. As you see in the diagram, you can tell that it is base module of Spring framework. Spring Core module is the base module of the Spring framework. Okay. It provides fundamental concepts of Spring framework. It provides fundamental concepts of Spring framework. If you go for Java, what are the fundamental concepts of Java? Oops, multi-threading, exception handling, collections, Java 8 features. These are fundamental concepts of the language. Okay. So why people are using Java? Because the fundamental concepts are very good and they are very strong also. So Java fundamentals, OOPS concepts available for code reusability. Multi-threading is available for parallel processing. Exception handling available to deal with the errors in the application. Collections available to represent group of objects. So those all are fundamental concepts. Now, can you imagine any project without those fundamental concepts? Can you imagine any Java project without OOPS, without collections, without exception handling? No. So same thing here also. When we talk about Spring Core module is called as base module of the Spring frame. That the Spring Core module provide fundamental concepts of the Spring frame. What are the fundamental concepts available in the Spring framework? One is IOC container. How OOPS is important in the Java, in the Spring, IOC container is important. Okay. The one of the most important concept in the Spring, which is IOC container. Sir, what is IOC container? It will take 1 week to 10 days to understand the IOC container. It's not like 1 minute definition or 1 day class. If you use IOC container and if you develop 4 or 5 projects, that will take 1 week to 10 days of time. Then you are going to get the clarity on the IOC content. Even if I tell the definition now, you may not get the full picture of that. I can tell you, IOC stands for inversion of control, which is responsible to manage dependencies among the classes in our application. Is there any use of the definition? Are you understanding anything? When you will understand that? When you will understand that? I can tell you the definition. IOC stands for inversion of control. IOC is responsible to manage and collaborate dependencies among the classes in our application. No clarity. No clarity. Why no clarity? Practically, you have to use it. If you develop 3-4 projects by using IOC container, then only you will get the clarity on what is IOC, what is the purpose of IOC, how to work with the IOC. Without IOC container, there is no Spring. That much important concept it is. I will take 1 week of time to explain what is IOC container by developing some applications. Are you able to follow me? So don't get disappointed. Sir, whatever you are teaching IOC container, we are not understanding. So after 1 week, you will understand what is IOC container. Are you clear with my point? So IOC container is one of the fundamental concepts available in the Spring framework. Along with IOC container, there is another concept available, which is called dependency injection. There is another concept called dependency injection. Dependency injection, IOC container. By using these concepts, Spring framework will manage our classes in the project. As of now, what we are doing? We are creating the object for one class in the another class. I want to access one class method in the another class method. If you go for application, multiple layers will be available in the application. Controller class should talk to service class. Service class should talk to DAO class. That means DAO object we need to create in the service. Service object we need to create in the control. That is a regular flow. One class object we will create in the another class to call the method. Controller should call the service method. Control is one Java class. Service is another Java class. How controller can call the service class? Controller will create the object of the service, will call the service method. Similarly, my service class should call the DAO class method. Service should create the DAO object. So as of now, we are creating the objects for the classes manually by using new operator. But in the real time, we don't use that new operator. We will never create the object directly by using new operator in the project. Are you able to follow me? How you are writing the programs, how you are calling the methods in your program? You will create a class, you will write a variable, you will write a method, main method. Inside the main method, I want to call the other method, create the object, call the method. But from now onwards, you no need to create the object. You no need to use the new operator to create the objects in the project. Why? Because that object creation process will be taken care by IOC container. That is called managing the objects. Whatever the objects we need to create, instead of we are creating the objects, we will tell to IOC container to create the object. Now, from now onwards, IOC container is our PA. Whatever the work that we want to do, that work we will tell to IOC container that will do the task. Simple example now, in that class we got a projected problem. What I have done? Am I taking the laptop? Am I connecting here? Am I telling to my assistant here? Whatever the work that I have to do, I need to connect a laptop to the television to take the class. Am I doing that work or I'm telling to my employee now? I'm telling to my employee. Whatever the work that I have to do, I'm telling to my employee doing the work, directly I'm coming and I'm starting the class. Are you able to understand? So what is the benefit here? My burden is reduced. If I am taking care of the laptop repair, projector repair and connections and all, I can't concentrate on the class. My mind will get disturbed if I do all that manual work. When I come to the class, I will not have interest to teach the class. So that's why I have taken one employee. So whatever the manual work is available, I will tell to my employee, whatever the technical work is available, I will do that. Are you able to follow this? Same concept in the project also. Writing the logics is my responsibility. Calling the methods is my responsibility. But creating the objects, I will not do that. Creating the objects, I will not do that. I will use one employee to create my objects. That employee is called IOC container. IOC container will take care of objects creation in our project. So from now onwards, you no need to write a new operator to create the object. It's not recommended to create the object by using new operator directly. So from now onwards, if I want to take DAO object to call the DAO method in the service, what I will do? Hey IOC, give me DAO object. Then IOC container will create the DAO object, will keep the DAO object in the service class. The process of creating one class object and giving that object to another class is called dependency injection. Are you able to follow me? So in the simple terminology, you can remember what is the meaning of IOC container and a dependency injection. You will not get full picture, just idea, basic idea. I told you, it will take 1 week of time to get the clarity on these 2 points. You need to develop several applications, then only you will get the full clarity. For time being, IOC stands for inversion of control. What IOC will do in the project? It will create the objects. It will manage the objects in the project. What is the meaning of creating the object and managing the object? One class should talk to another class in the project. Controller class should talk to service class. Service class should talk to DAO class. Controller class should talk to service class. Service class should talk to DAO class. So one class should call another class method. I need the object. So instead of we are creating the object, we will take IOC container to create the object. So the process of creating one class object, give to another class is called dependency injection. So these 2 concepts are called as fundamental concepts of the Spring framework. Without these 2 concepts, there is no use of going for Spring framework. So the fundamental concepts of the Spring, IOC container and the dependency injection. Can anyone tell me what is the dependency injection? Come on. Creating one class object and inject into another class object is called dependency injection. Why we need to create one class object? Why we need to inject into another class object? What is the reason? Why we need to create one class object? Why we need to inject into another class object? To access one class method in the project, nothing but collection of classes only. One class should talk. Are you going to write only one class in the project for all the functionality? No. Hundreds, thousands of classes will be available. One class should talk to another class. If one class wants to talk to another class, then that class should have the object of that class. So instead of we are going to create the object, we will tell to our employee to create the object. Who is our employee here? IOC container. Who is giving IOC container for us? Spring framework. In the Spring framework, which module will give you IOC container? Spring core module. Spring core module is the base module of the Spring framework. It will provide you the fundamental concepts of the framework like IOC container, dependency injection. And here, the dependency injection also we are going to perform by using a concept called auto wiring. What is the concept available? Auto wiring. Auto wiring means whenever the project is started, automatically IOC container will perform the dependency injection. Have you seen yesterday's source code? Yesterday project I have given in the Git repository. Did anybody open that project code? No. Yesterday we have seen one important real-time scenario. OTP integration in the project with the WhatsApp. So yesterday, due to 2 hours workshop, theoretically I have explained what is the OTP integration process, and I have executed my project and I have shown you the project output. I have not discussed anything about the coding part yesterday because time is not sufficient for explaining the code. To develop that code again, I need 2 hours of time. To explain the requirement, to show you the expected output, to show the project execution flow, it took 2 hours of time, 9 to 11. To do the coding, another 2 hours of time. Some people want to see the code immediately. That's why I uploaded my code into GitHub repository. I have given that GitHub repository link also. How many of you opened that code and have seen the code which I have implemented there? This is student mindset. People are dependent. This is the best example to say that people are dependent. People are thinking that next week again, sir will conduct the workshop. Sir will explain the code. Why we need to learn on our own? You have same mindset or no? Yes or no? 99% of the people have the same. That's why. So you know what is the importance of the OTP integration? How to implement that to send a message to WhatsApp. Before yesterday's class, you don't know how to do that logic. Yesterday, I told you the logic. Yesterday, I have given the project also. 24 hours completed. You did not open the project code. You have not observed what is the code I have developed. Pure student mindset. People are dependent on the faculties. Tomorrow, once you go to company, if you get that kind of requirement, today I am telling you how to send a WhatsApp message by using Spring Boot. Tomorrow in your project, they are not using WhatsApp integration. They want to send the message to normal text message. Normal message they want to send to the mobile. My project will not work. Then what you will do? Again, you will come to Amirpet to learn how to send a message to normal mobile number without WhatsApp, normal text message. Will you come to Amirpet again to learn that concept? What you have to do? Assume that you join in a company, your manager gave you a scenario. Today, you need to develop the requirement. That requirement is when user registered, you need to send a OTP to the user mobile number directly, normal SMS, not WhatsApp message. What you will do? You don't know how to implement it. Then you will get lot of tension. Because if you don't complete the task, manager will not accept it. Manager will see 2 to 3 days. If you are not completing the task on time, manager will give the complaint to the HR department. This person is not working properly. I need another person in my project. With this person, my work cannot be completed. If I keep this person in the project delivery will be delayed. So remove this person from the project. Give me another person who can do the coding properly. So that is a performance issue. Your performance issue. So many people are losing the jobs because of those problems. They are completing the course. Faculty will give you interview, institute will give you interview questions. You will prepare, you will buttify, you will go to interview, you will answer, you get selected. Once you go to the project, within 1 month, fire. The reason? Not able to do the coding. They have completed the course. They practiced all the examples. They cracked interview also. But why they are losing the jobs? Survival is difficult. Getting the job is easy. Surviving in the job is difficult. What is the meaning of survival? What is the meaning of surviving in the job? Completing the tasks on time and continuing in the job is called survival. That survival is difficult for so many people nowadays. The reason? They don't have self-learning skills. Whatever I explained in the class, same thing you will practice. I will give the code also. I already told you, my complete project code is available in the GitHub. But is there any use of that? If you take my workspace, if you take my code, is there any benefit for you? What benefit you need to get from the course, guys? Taking the code is the benefit for you, or developing the code on your own is the benefit? You should learn how to develop the code on your own. But where is your effort to develop that code on your own? So proof. Yesterday, one project I have given, you have not tried that. At least you did not open and see what is there in that project. You are lazy. So you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset. So if you complete the course with the same mindset, there is no benefit for you. Whatever I am teaching, you need to do that practice. Apart from that, you need to do some extra practice also, some extra scenarios. You need to create your own requirement and you need to develop. So if the student is really interested, whatever the WhatsApp project I have given, they will complete that project and they will ask me a question. Ashok, you told me WhatsApp integration, but how to send a message to mobile number directly? Can you teach that also? And people will try to implement that on their own. For those people, survival will be easy because they're trying something, they are learning something. But self-learning skills are very, very important to survive in the job. So from now onwards, you need to change that mindset. Don't expect everything from the faculty. Faculty will be there with you for next 3 months only. After 3 months, our course will be completed. Then I will be busy with my work. You will be busy with your work. If you get some problem, who will help you? Nobody. So here, the target is not to complete the course, not to take the code from the faculty. The target is how much you are able to develop on your own. Whatever the requirement I am teaching here, whatever the projects I am developing here, are you able to develop those projects on your own or not? That is important. If you cannot develop the project on your own, definitely you will struggle a lot in the company. Whatever the projects I am developing, I have seen so many batches. 45th batch, this is for Spring Boot Microservices in Ashok IT. 45 batches we complete. In every batch, from first batch to last 44 batch also, in every batch, people will send you a message. Ashok, please share workspace. What is the meaning of workspace? Whatever the projects I am developing in the class, people will ask me to share the workspace. If I share that workspace, what they will do? Will you give some task to your brain? You are going to develop something. You will get stuck somewhere. You will get an error. When you get an error, what you will do? When you get some error, what you will do? Immediately, you will open my code and you will see what is the solution and you will solve the problem. Suppose if that code is not there with you, if code is there with you, 5 minutes you will think and you will open my code, you will copy paste it, output will come. Output will come. But if the code is not there with you, come on. You will think, you will try different approaches you will try. You will open your brain, you will think. Sometimes you will get success, sometimes you will get failure. But you will understand troubleshooting, you will understand debugging, you will understand problem solving skills, and you will search in the internet, you will learn some new concept, you will try to complete the task on your own. For first 1 week, 10 days, 1 month, maybe you are not able to do it. But if you follow the same thing for next 3 months of time, you will become expert in the coding. Are you getting my point? This is the problem in the Amirpet. In the Amirpet, faculty will take a course, faculty will write the code, faculty will give the code to the students also. Students will take that code, students will practice the same thing. Course will be complete. Faculty is very good for you because he's giving the code also. But tomorrow, once you go to the company, when you go to the company, manager will give you a task. Can you ask manager, you write the code and give it to me? Will manager give the code for you? Team lead will give the code for you? Then what you need to do in the company? You have to do on your own. If you are not able to do in the company, will manager will come and sit with you and will teach you, beta, you have to write like this. You have to write this method. You have to write this method. You need to create the object here. You need to call the method. Will anybody teach you like that in the company? Manager will see 1 day, 2 days, maximum 1 week. Hatao. This guy is not good programmer. I can't do work with this program. I need another employee who is good in the program. So you will lose your job if you are not able to do the work on your own. Instead of struggling in the company, let us take that pressure now on in the course. If you are not able to do, I am here to teach you how to do it. 2 times, 3 times, 10 times you will fail. 11th time, you will get the success. That will give you the confidence to attend the interview. That will give you the confidence to survive in the job also. So teaching is different, doing is different. Okay. Practicing whatever the example I explained in the class is different. Trying to do the example on your own, that is different. And last week, I gave one task. Convert the Java object to JSON, JSON to Java. I have not explained. How many of you tried and failed? No problem. Failure, no issue, because that is a new task for you. If you are able to do it, excellent. Your self-learning skills are very good. If you are not able to do it, your self-learning skills are weak. You need to improve that. You can judge yourself. You can judge your skills. Whether you are learning the courses in the right direction, whether you are not learning the courses in the right direction. So whatever the task I have given last week, to convert Java object to JSON, JSON to Java object. If you go to YouTube, if you type same thing, Java to JSON conversion, 1000+ videos will come. If you go to ChatGPT, line by line code, it will give. If you go to the Google, it will give you n number of websites where the code is available. After seeing these many resources also, if you are not able to do that implementation, what is the meaning of that? Exact code is there in the internet. ChatGPT is giving you line by line code. YouTube, so many tutorials also available. So many platforms available to fulfill your requirement. Whatever the task I have given, to complete that task, there are so many resources available in the internet. Still you have not completed. Yes or no? Completed or not completed? Now, can I call you as a professional or I should call you as a student? You can question yourself. Are you doing justice for your parents' money, or are you learning the course properly or not? You can justify yourself now. 3 days back, faculty told one requirement, and without that requirement, you cannot develop a full stack project. JSON, front end will send the data to back end in the JSON. Back end will send the data to front end in the JSON. How to convert Java object to JSON, JSON to Java object? That is the task I have given. 100 people in the online, offline 20+ people are available. I think maybe 5 to 6 people might have completed. Remaining 95 to 100 people not complete. What is the reason? You don't need to tell me. You just question yourself. Why I have not completed? So that means you are dependent on someone. You are dependent on me. Okay, Sare has given the requirement. Sar only will develop that. We are paying fees for Sarna. Sar has to do it. That is your mindset. With this mindset, can you survive as a developer in the company? With this mindset, can you survive as a developer? Today, how many projects I will develop? 50 to 60 projects I will develop in the course. 50 scenarios I will explain. Tomorrow when you go to the company, if they give you task on the other scenario which is not covered in the class, you are gone. Simple example I told you. WhatsApp message I am teaching. Normal message I am not teaching. If you get the task on that, at that time, your mind is not ready to do the things on your own, because first time you got a new task which you don't know and you have not learned anything on your own. Whatever I am teaching, you are learning same thing. You are dependent. So you need to come out from that area. You need to become independent. What is the meaning of independent? What is the meaning of independent? Whatever the task you get from your team lead or from your manager or from your trainer, now I am going to give you the task. Tomorrow your team lead manager will give you the task. Whatever the task we are giving, you should be able to do it on your own. Then you will be called as an independent developer. If you become independent developer, survival is very easy for you. I am working in the company from 11 years and I told you, I lost my first job because of dependent. I also, like you, a student in Amirpet. I completed my Java course in Amirpet 1 year time, Struts framework, Hibernate framework. I joined in the company, and as you did, whatever my faculty tell you in the class, login example, registration example, I practiced. Once I go to the company, they have given a requirement, send an email with the attachment. My first requirement in the company as a Java developer. They have given 1 day time. I am not able to do. Second day, they have given implement CAPTCHA in the registration page. My faculty not explained in the class. And third day, they have given me task, generate a PDF file in the project. I don't know. 1 week they have given the time. After 1 week, manager called me, Ashok, I can't work with you because from 1 week you are not doing anything. Why I am not able to do? They have not explained in my class. Email sending with attachment, PDF generation, Excel report generations, CAPTCHA implementation, not covered in the class. I lost my first job in 1 week of time. Then I realized what is the mistake I have done for 1 year in the Amirpet. What is the mistake? I practiced every example which is given by faculty. And faculty given the code also. At that time, this Google Drive and all is not available. If you want code in 2012, if I want the code, I need to take a pen drive, go to faculty. Faculty will copy the code in the pen drive, will give. I have all the examples in my pen drive. I completed practice. I cracked job. I got the job, but I lost my job. Why? I was not able to think. My brain is not ready to accept a new requirement. Then I realized what is a mistake I have done for 1 year in the Amirpet. And I am regular student to the class. I will sit in the first row only. I will practice everything. I will go to the lab. I will practice. But I lost my job because dependent. I completely dependent on my faculty at that time. After losing my job, I realized whatever I have learned is basic. What I am getting in the task, in the requirement, that is very advanced requirement, I am not able to do it because my self-learning skills are zero in my first job. I struggled. Then later I started using. At that time, ChatGPT not available. In the YouTube, these many tutorials are not available. In the Google also, if you set, maybe 1 or 2, we will find. At that time, in the 2012, internet is not this much advanced. These many resources are not available in the internet. But today, you have so many resources, but you are not utilizing. 2 scenarios. I'm not telling something new. JSON project I have given task, you have not completed. WhatsApp project I have given yesterday, you did not see what is the code available. Because still you are thinking like a student. You are still in the dependent zone only. So my sincere request for you, please come out from that zone and try to do the things, try to do the code on your own. And if I don't give the code, people will scold me. Ashok has taken the fees not giving the code for us. That's why I kept all my code in the GitHub. If you want, you can use it. I don't have any. Will I lose anything if I give the code? I have shown you already. Previous batch, complete workspace, 60 projects available, public in the GitHub. Anybody can download it. But if you download that code while doing the course, who is the loser? Student or faculty? Student. Student will become idiot. If they download the code and if they practice, they will become dummy. Tomorrow they go to the company, they cannot do anything. Are you getting my point? How your core Java completed, advanced Java completed, how the next 3 months of journey will be there. I hope you will get some imagination. I'm against to share the code with the students. I don't like that approach because 1.5 hours you are attending a class. 1 day theory I am explaining. 1 day programming I am going to do live coding. Every program, every project in the batch, 60 projects. Every project I will develop in front of you, line by line code I will write. After listening to the class, after watching this also, if you are not able to develop the same project on your own, then how you will be called as a developer? How you will be treated as a developer? You are attending the class theoretically 1 day. 1 day programming will be available. After spending 3 hours for the class also, students are not able to write the code. This is the fact. This is the situation in Amirpet. Will you agree with me or not? 95% of the students are like that only. That is the reason people are not getting the jobs. And everybody saying recession is there, jobs are not there. If jobs are not there, in the Naukri I have shown you, 22,000 companies are looking for the Java developers. How can you say jobs are not there? Jobs are there. Skilled people are not there. People's skill set is not sufficient to get that job. 22,000 companies looking for Java developers with Spring Boot. But in Amirpet, people will say that jobs are not there in the IT industry. Recession is there. Recession is not there. Jobs are there. People are not having the skill to get that job. That is the problem. Are you getting my point? Tomorrow, when you go to the company, earlier, before COVID, companies used to take your interview directly face to face with the question answer. Today, if you go to the company, they will give one requirement. You need to develop that in front of them. Then only they will select you for the first. Coding test is available in the interview. Because of that coding test, so many people are getting rejected in the interview because they completed the course, but they are not able to develop the project. You understand my point? You need to stand out of this competition. If you want to stand out of this competition, what you need to do? You need to become independent programmer. How to become independent programmer? You need to become a self-learner first. What is the meaning of self-learner? You should learn the concepts on your own first. Maybe 1 week, 10 days, you may not able to understand, but don't give up. You have to try. 1 month, 2 months, if you try to learn the concepts on your own. 3rd month, you will become very good independent developer. You can take any task, you can try that. And you see, I have not learned Spring in the market. When I am doing the Java course, Spring is not there. Spring Boot is not there. Okay, I have not learned DevOps in Amirpet. I have not learned AWS in Amirpet. All these things I have learned on my own and I am teaching now. That means I am very good in the self-learning. If I see one concept in the internet, within 1 hour, I can learn that and I can implement that. I can teach that also. I have practiced that skill from last 11 years. I'm teaching multiple technologies because self-learning. I can learn the concept on my own. If you give any requirement, even in the Python, .NET also, give me 1 day time, I will implement it. I am a quick learner. I can learn the concepts on my own. That's why I'm surviving in the industry from 11 years. I want you to become a self-learner. I will teach you. You are paying money for me. I will teach. I will do my job. I will do my job. Along with that, you need to focus on your career also. Once this course is completed, I will teach you every example. I will give the code also. You will be completing the batch. I will get next batch. I will get new students. I will get more money. My business will run. But what about my students? My students should not lose the job once they go to the company. So those techniques you are going to learn. Self-learning is important. When I give some task, please spend some time. Try to do it. It may be success. Don't think about the end result. Don't think about end result. Whether you are keeping your efforts or not, that is important. If you do that kind of self-learning, self-implementation for 10 times, 20 times, definitely for the 30th time, you will become successful. Once if you learn that skill, you no need to attend any course in any institute. Am I attending any course in the institute to teach a new technology? No, because I know the technique. You should know that technique to survive in the job. Once you know the technique, you no need to pay the money for any institute. You no need to sit in any faculty class. You can learn on your own by sitting in your house. And once you get the job, you will not get the time to attend the classes. In the company, they will say 8 hours. On the paper, working hours are 8. Practical, 12 hours. IT companies, they will tell you 8 hours job. But the reality, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes 18 hours also. That much pressure will be there. So you will not get the time to learn the subject. So that's why I'm not telling you to learn all the subjects now. I'm telling you to learn the technique to learn any concept on your own. If you have the technique, you can learn any concept, any technology whenever it is required for. Are you able to follow me? Now you realize what is your weak point. What is your weak point? What is your weak point now? Self-learning skills are 0. You need to bring it to 100%. If you bring your skill to 100, I'm not telling learn the Spring completely. And I can't teach you Spring completely. I will teach you how to learn the concept on your own. I will make you independent. If I make you independent, my job is completed. Then you will become successful. I no need to teach you. Some people will ask me. I have seen in previous batch also. When I explain one example, how to upload a file in the server by using Spring Boot. Immediately they will send a message, sir, how to download that file? They will not try. Are you getting my point? So that's where you have to change your mind. If I am teaching a concept, how to upload a file, what is the next requirement? How to download. Why don't you try on your own? Why you are asking me the same question? How to? I will teach you how to download the file also. Tomorrow they will ask you how to upload multiple files at a time, download multiple files at a time. That requirement I will not cover in the class. In the company, you will get that requirement. You are gone. So that's why. So always try to focus on your self-learning. And today I'm giving you one more day time. Work on the JSON. Work on the JSON requirement. Try that. It's very, very important for you. Very, very important for you. Not now. After 1 month of our course, every day we will work with the JSON. In the 1 month core module, data JPA, web MVC will be completed in 1 month, right? For this 1 month, I don't need JSON. After 1 month, the next 2 months course, every day we will use JSON. That much important it is. Once you go to the company, every day you will use JSON. Because front end, back end, communication with the JSON. Are you able to follow me? Yes, good. Online students. I have given a requirement in the last week. How to convert Java object to JSON, JSON object to Java. So first you need to know, sir. People will tell, sir, we don't know what is. That is a requirement. You have to learn, man. If you don't know, you have to learn. Sir, I don't know JSON. How can I develop this? If you don't know, you have to learn. You are learning for myself or you are learning for yourself. If you learn a concept, I will get any benefit. If you get a job, I will get any benefit. If you get the job, your life will be settled. Your parents' life will be settled. Your kids' life also will be settled. 3 generations are dependent on your job. If you get a good job, your father can take a retirement. He no need to do the hard work to send the money to you. You can give money to your father from your salary and you will get marriage. For your kids, you can provide good lifestyle, good education, good hospitals, good food you can provide. So you need to keep in your mind, 3 generations are dependent on your job. It's not only you, 3 generations. Your father generation, your and your wife generation, your kids generation also dependent on your job. So how much careful we should have? How much care we need to take about our job now? All of a sudden, if you lose your job, you have got the job, 2 months salary you got, your performance is not good, you lost your job. Entire family collapsed. Again, your father has to do the hard work. You will get a lot of pressure from your wife. Why don't you have a job? For your kids, you can't give anything. So you need to keep that in your mind. So the job getting is easy. Surviving in the job is difficult. To survive the job, you need to become independent. That is what I'm telling you. You just take me as an example. How Sari is teaching these many technologies. Because Sari is a quick learner. Sari is a self-learner. I want you to become like that. Then you don't need to come to Amirpet. And I will tell you for my students, if anybody attend my class, that course is their last course in Amirpet. After this course, they need to join any other course. What they will learn from here? What they will learn from here? Self-learn. They don't need to come for any other course. They don't need to pay the fees again. I'm not teaching the Java. I'm teaching you self-learn. That is what our success. Why Ashok IT became this much famous in 4 years? This is the technique. Once a student learns from me, he will not come to Amirpet again. He no need to come. He no need to come. In the last 4 years, I have trained almost 30,000 people. Ashok IT started in 2020. 30,000 people attended my classes in the last 4 years. Nobody will come to Amirpet again. Why they will not come again? They are already self-learners. They are independent. They are surviving in the job. Some of my students are working as a managers in the project. They are working as a team leads in the project. In every company, if you see in Hyderabad, Ashok IT student will be there. That is for sure. And why we are becoming this much famous? Because references. Once a student attend our class, they will know the importance of our training. With the references only, we are getting the people. Getting my point? So all these things you need to keep in your mind, and you need to complete the course 3 months of time. And when you are doing the course, your mindset has to change. Self-learning you have to adopt. That is a new thing for you. Immediately you will not become a good self-learner. Slowly, step by step, day by day, you need to improve that skill. Over a night, you cannot become a self-learner. I did not, sir. You are very great. You are teaching so many technologies. You are speaking very good English. You are teaching Java. You are teaching DevOps. You are teaching AWS. And you are running institute also. You are doing job also. All these things I did not get in one day. I spent 11 years. 11 years of my effort is there. Overnight success is not possible. You got my point? I'm teaching these many technologies means I worked like a dog in the companies for 11 years. कुत्ता जैसा काम किया था. 18 hours in a company I worked. I learned that from my work experience. So same thing I'm teaching you in the course. Getting my point? Good. Any questions, anyone? So what is the task for you today? And one more thing I'm giving extra today. I have given last week one task, how to convert Java object to JSON, JSON to Java. Now, according to, along with that, I want you to deal with the XML also. XML also we are going to use to develop the web services. How to convert Java object to XML, XML data to Java object. First, you need to learn what is XML. Then you need to understand how to convert Java object to XML, XML data to Java object. How to convert Java object to JSON, JSON object to Java. These are two projects you need to develop on your own. You take time. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. By this weekend, try to complete it. After completing, you check your confidence. Because you are doing on your own, right? Once you are able to see that output successfully, then you can see a smile on your face. That will give you confidence. Are you getting my point? So like this, every day I'm going to give some requirements for you, which I am not discussing in the class. Those things you have to try. Those things you have to try. And if you complete these requirements on your own, then you can survive in any company. You can survive in any job. You can go with 3 to 4 years experience also for the industry. You can do that job. You can complete your task because you are a self-learner at that time. Can you take this challenge now? Are you interested to complete the requirement? So in my 11 years, you can imagine how many requirements I have developed. I worked on 5 different projects. 1,000, 2,000 plus requirements we implemented in the projects. All those are real-time requirements. So every week I will give you 2 to 3 requirements. Now I have given 2 requirements. You try to complete. Once you complete those, if you tell me, sir, we have completed, then I will give you another 2 requirements which are related to the real time. Again, you need to try those requirements. You can take the code from internet also. I'm not saying that you should not copy. No developer will write the code on their own. Everybody will copy from the Google only. But how to copy from the Google, how to search in the Google, how to modify that code according to our project requirement, that is also a technique. Google searching technique. I am confident on my job. Why? Because I know how to search in the Google. I know how to take the code from the Google. How to modify that code according to my requirement. I know that. That's why I am very confident as a programmer. And I am confident on multiple technologies. If you give me Python, 1 or 2 days sufficient for me. I can develop a project in the Python. Because I know how to search. I know how to use it. That confidence I have in my mind. So if you do the requirements on your own like this, then you will get that confidence. You got my point? So the next 3 months of your journey is very, very, very important. As I told you, this is the course which is very important for you to get the job. And keep in your mind, on your job, 3 generations are dependent. And not only getting the job, you should know how to survive in the job also. If you want to survive in the job, you need to become independent. If you want to become independent, first you need to become self-learner. How to become that self-learner? If you try to do the things on your, everything is dependent. You need to do job, and you need to survive in the job. To survive in the job, you need to become independent. To become independent, you need to become a self-learner. To become a self-learner, first you need to keep your effort. Is there any abracadabra? You will become a self-learner? No. You have to try. You have to try. You have to spend. Yes, sir. Yes. You got my point? Good. Are you ready to complete the assignment? Good. So I want you to work on Java to JSON, JSON to Java, Java to XML, XML to Java. So sit in the lab. Now this is your lab room here. I will be also available here. You bring your laptops daily to the class. I told you I will be available till 1 o'clock. After the class is completed, immediately open your laptop and do some video on the JSON and try to implement the JSON project today. Keep a target. Today I have to complete the JSON project. Tomorrow I have to complete the XML project. You keep the target and you start working on it. Getting my point? If you are not able to do, anyhow, I will teach that concept in the class. If you learn that concept on your own, no need to teach in the class. Getting my point? Good. Fine. Thank you, guys. Any questions? Okay, with this, I'm stopping for today. Tomorrow, we are going to understand what are the remaining modules available in the Spring and what is the purpose of those modules. Mostly, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, our programming also will start. So I need to develop a project by using Spring Framework, right? We will develop that. 1 week, we are going to understand IOC container, dependency injection, auto wiring. Once these are completed, then we will start the Spring. Okay. Daily class, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Good. I already told you in the first day, what are the timings, what is the duration, and all that stuff. So tomorrow is the last free session. Once the Zoom link is changed, then you can access these notes. Already you joined in the WhatsApp channel yesterday, right? I will upload these notes also in that WhatsApp channel. Okay. So from tomorrow, we are going to continue. Thank you, guys.